Do you have a need for speed? Whether you want to improve your race time or just have fun, the Run Marana series has something for everyone. Choose your challenge and sign up for one of the 5 races held throughout the year. Visit maranaaz.gov/run to sign up. Your speed, your run, your town.
People lose their valuables every day simply because they forget to lock their car doors. Don't be another statistic. Remove all your belongings anytime you leave your car, including valuables and weapons. This is a message from the Marana Police Department, reminding all residents to lock it or lose it.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Talk with the Town. My name is Terry, and I am your host. And today we have a return guest. This guy's been on the show. I think he holds the record now for the most times on the show, Jason Angell from Development Services. Jason, good morning.
Good morning, Terry. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So a lot's happened since the last time you were on the show, not only with regard to development in our community, but we had some developments that occurred in Little League softball.
Yeah.
So, Jason, you're intimately familiar with what happened with the Marana girls softball team because... Well, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners exactly why you're so familiar with this wonderful team that got to go to the Little League World Series?
Yeah, it was an experience of a lifetime. As one of the coaches, myself, Sam Mills, Chris Beck, led the team for 12 young ladies and actually won the Western Region tournament here at Arthur Pack, which...
In thrilling fashion, might I add. I happened to be there.
Yeah. Late night, rain delay with the monsoon coming through. I think we wrapped up just after 11 p.m. And about less than 12 hours, we were on a plane to Seattle, Washington, where we competed in Kirkland, Washington, just outside of Seattle in the Little League World Series, and had a blast.
Yeah, and you have anybody on the team that's close to you?
Yeah. My daughter Addison actually is on the team, and she had a phenomenal Western Region as well as Little League World Series, as all the girls did. But from a father's perspective, my daughter lit it up with the bat.
She was like the doubles queen, man. She was hitting doubles like left and right. A few of them bouncing over the fence and... Yeah. That's got to be fun.
It is. It's a blast. And we took a little bit of a break, and now the girls are back into softball mode. We started back up again last week, so right back at it.
Right on. Well, we're going to be opening some new baseball fields with some lights and fencing and stuff over in Gladden Farms, and I think we're going to do a little exhibition game. We just got to find somebody who's willing to take on the girls. I don't know if we're going to find anybody, but we'll work on that.
Yeah, and actually this weekend the girls go up to the Diamondbacks game, and the Diamondbacks want to recognize the young ladies on the field. So
nice.
We're excited for that.
Nice. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of that over the next several months.
Yep.
Well, hey, aside from developments in softball, we've had some development going on in the town, and you've briefed us on some of this in the past, things that were coming, but now we're coming to fruition, and we're starting to see things come out of the ground. So I thought it would be good just to have you back on the show to talk about where things stand with some of these projects and what we can anticipate going forward. So let's start off with a little bit with probably the big one in town, at least for the folks in Gladden Farms, and that's the Fry's Shopping Center. Tell me a little bit about where things stand there.
Yeah, Fry's is moving. They broke ground about 2 weeks ago. Dirt's out there, fencing's up. I mean, you see all the posts online, and people are excited even about the fencing just going up. So I understand it's been a long time in the waiting. So the store is moving. They are anxious to get everything going. They have a single contractor that is doing the dirt work as well as the physical construction of the building. So they want to move as quick as possible with the goal of having that store open by the 4th of July.
Of 2024, the very next 4th of July.
Yes.
That's a big building, 115,000 square feet, something like that. Yeah. And they're going to do that in less than a year?
Yeah. Their goal is to have it completed in less than 9 months.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yes.
So, but that's not the only thing that's going to be there. Do we have any insight on what else might be going on the property there?
They do have plans submitted for one of the multi-tenant buildings. So just like the Fry's that's up on Tangerine or any of the other Fry's that you see in the area, they have a couple of multi-tenant buildings or outbuildings that sit in front of the store. The Fry's or Kroger owns and operates all of those pads. And so they have one of the multi-tenant buildings in that they're looking to break ground as well on that one. They haven't given exact tenants on it, but they do say they have at least 2 tenants that are interested in going in there. I would anticipate if you look around at some of the other stores out there, you get the idea of, it's probably financial services or it might be a Subway or things like that, small kind of retail services. But then we do understand that McDonald's is going to be building another store on the corner there, right in front. Kroger does not own that pad.
Okay.
So that is a separate owner that owns what we call the hard corner right there.
So that's right at Lon Adams and Tangerine then.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another McDonald's.
Yeah.
Not too far from the McDonald's we have now up in North Marana. Couldn't convince them to do something other than a McDonald's. So that's the thing, McDonald's has got deep pockets, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as much as we would love to see a nice family sit-down restaurant or a sports bar or something like that going in there, ultimately it's a retail use that's allowed in that area, and we don't own the property.
Yeah. And if somebody's coming to knocking on your door with some money in hand, which McDonald's has plenty of, you're probably going to end up with the McDonald's there.
Yeah.
But you know what? The people in the area will be able to walk to McDonald's and get a hot fudge sundae or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and then going across the street from there, Terry, is where the Circle K is.
Yeah.
There is we have a development meeting later this week with the owner of that property that owns all of the vacant land that's adjacent to that on the front side of the park, and they've shown a plan that identifies 4 different outbuildings there. They have indicated to us that an AutoZone is looking at going in there.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of other smaller offices. One is a dental office, and one is perhaps some sort of food service that would go in there as well. So they're coming in, and we'll hope to learn more this afternoon or this week about what types of uses are going in there. So there's a lot of activity now that Fry's has broken ground.
Yeah.
A lot of interest in that area for
Do you anticipate that whole corridor from I-10 all the way up to Lon Adams kind of lighten up? I mean, there's already some stuff, with CTI and, the Quick Trip and whatnot. And but anything else there along Tangerine that you're hearing about?
Yeah, there's a lot more interest, definitely.
Okay.
In the Gladden Farms 2 area, where Clark Farms Boulevard comes down and ties up near the fire station there.
That's a nice road, man. I don't know if you've gotten to drive it yet. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited to take that drive. Definitely, there's been more interest there. Talking with Dean Wingert and the commercial property they have there, there's some definitely more interest in that area.
Yeah.
So we anticipate something turning on in that area as well. And then, yes, as you get down to where CTI and all that, there's interest there for another Starbucks.
You can't have enough Starbucks, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you people love your Starbucks, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
There's more interest over in that area for additional services to be going in there as well. We've heard conversations that they're having a possible hotel in that area as well, but haven't seen anything come to fruition there as far as formal requests for meetings or any plans submitted.
So that's where that new kind of road, that is it called Tangelo Drive or something there?
Yep, Tangelo.
Yeah, that they're kind of building off to the south of Tangerine Road.
Yep.
Near CTI, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow. So we could really begin to see a lot of stuff going on Tangerine. In fact, we're seeing stuff not only on the west side, we're seeing things going on the east side. We got the Maverick. That looks like it's coming along pretty well as well. Yeah,
they're moving along quite nicely there. Their goal is to have that completed and up and running by the holidays. You're looking at, I'm going to say, late November, early December for that to come online.
Okay. Now, just maybe a couple of weeks ago or so, we brought before the council a rezone for Mandarina South. Tell us a little bit about what that means for the area.
Yeah, so Mandarina South is really the property that is immediately to the west of Trico. So you see where their solar field is right there. It's the property immediately to the south of that and wraps a little bit behind the solar fields there. That is an extension of the Mandarina development, but their primary focus in that area is to get more commercial and high density development. They haven't identified any
High density, like apartments,
townhomes.
Okay.
And at the council meeting, the mayor and I believe a couple of the council members said, when we say high density, we'd like to see different units in here, something different, bring us something unique that we don't already have. So we take that as the council doesn't want to see the standard apartment going up in there. So townhomes, twin homes, clustered development of smaller units would be welcomed in that area is what we take that as.
Excellent. So anything else along Tangerine and I-10 area?
No.
All right. How about let's move ourselves a little bit to the north at Marana, Sandario, and I-10. What are we hearing and seeing up in that area?
Really, there's a couple of developments that are working through the process there. Dunkin' Donuts is looking at going in. It's a Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins combination.
We talked a little bit about that last time, but they haven't really moved on anything.
Haven't yet. They're working through the permitting process and getting that done. The unique thing up in the downtown area is the developer is having each one of them handle their own detention in that area. Rather than a regional storm pond, they all have to figure out their individual storm ponding on site.
So stormwater, they have to figure out their own drainage for that area.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
that's not an easy thing. So I can see where that's probably slowing things up for them a little bit.
Yeah, and the McDonald's up there has one that is under their parking lot. So it's a very expensive way of handling it, is kind of a big holding tank under their parking lot, and not many people can afford to do that, but some of these franchises can. So working through that. KFC is also looking at going in up there as well.
The Colonel is making his way north. Nice.
Yeah. Once again, I think, while that is kind of the interchange where a lot of people, there's a lot of activity. We all know the traffic that's up there. So I think it's really for more of those passing through the community and not so much geared towards those that reside in the community. We'd like to see more of the sit-down restaurants, and we do have our focus there as the restaurant task force. You and I and others, Stephanie, Kurt, Amanda, and all of them. We're working to try. That's one of the target areas to get some more sit-down up in that area. But ultimately, it's another example of we don't own the property, and we can't really dictate what goes in there and what doesn't.
Yeah, could we pass a law that says we could though? I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It would be nice though that we get to say we'd like this here, we'd like that there. That would be kind of cool, but we don't get that. So I'm going to move to something that is a little bit off topic, but on topic, I guess, because it's something that's happening up in northern Marana, and we've had a number of calls about it, and that's the terror in the corn.
Yep.
And you're starting to see some of the activity going on that parcel. It used to be down there where the CTI trucking business is going in. They couldn't go in there this year. I guess they ended up signing a lease with a property owner there at Marana and I-10, Sandario I-10 area there, and they're going to be doing their operation up there. And we've had some people really concerned about the traffic. So tell me a little bit about what that operation is going to look like, and why in the world would the town allow that to happen? That's one of the questions I've had from folks.
So they did submit an application, special event permit to go through that, which is outlined in code what we go through. And a number of different departments then go through and review that for every special event that we have. Traffic is one of those. We also have PD, Northwest Fire, our building department, as well as Public Works and the traffic division there. Everyone took a look at it, and then there's conditions that were signed off on as part of that. Some of that is also he has to go through, or the owner has to go through and get the approvals from ADOT. And that is because of the proximity to the frontage road as well as to the interchange itself. So prior to allowing the business to operate, he will have to show proof that he's met all of those requirements, one of which is to submit a copy of the ADOT permit to us. That gives him the approvals to the traffic flow that was shown there was showing that traffic was coming out onto the frontage road to help with the flows in that area. So it's not all coming in and leaving in one particular location. It kind of flows through the site.
Okay. And as far as hours and days of operation, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that was probably pretty key in determining that we could allow it to happen without having significant impact to the traffic flows in that area.
Yeah. I want to say it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what the days of the week. And it's 6 p.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay.
Is the approved hours that are there. So
not a whole lot of traffic between 6 and midnight. Maybe 6 to 7. There's
you're kind of on the back end
of the back end of the rush hours. People are coming home. But yeah. Okay.
So and then it's just the month of October.
Okay.
Is that time.
All right. So short duration, several weeks, 3 days a week. Late night hours.
And also as part of the traffic control is a requirement that he hire some of the off-duty officers to help with traffic control in that area at the key points along there. I don't recall all of them, but it was identified, and that was one of the conditions of the police review as well as the traffic review, is to make sure that there is somebody there to help make sure traffic is moving and to help with security in that area.
Very good.
Enjoy live music in Marana every third Thursday in the fall and spring at the beautiful Marana Municipal Complex Courtyard from 5 to 7 p.m. With theme nights, food trucks, and attractions, this free concert truly is a family-friendly experience. Visit maranaaz.gov/events for the complete schedule.
Whether you're starting a business or looking to expand in Marana, our Town Development Services staff will walk you through the steps towards success. Learn about business licenses, development permits, business loans, local and state resources, and more. Let's get to work. For more information, visit maranaaz.gov/business development.
There's an easier way to get your rec on in Marana. Download the Marana Parks and Recreation app today to learn about parks and trails, request reservations, and register for programs. Don't miss out on a fun time. Available in the App Store for Apple and Android phones.
All right, so let's move a little to the south, and over there by the mall, there is a ginormous, and I don't know what the official definition of ginormous is, but I think that this facility fits into that category. It's a big building that's going up over there, and we talked about it the last time. That's a furniture store that's going in there. So tell us a little bit about where that's at, and how long do you think before people will be able to start shopping for a new dining room table there?
Yeah. American Furniture Warehouse is the facility. Going up very nicely, moving along, talking to our building team. The inspections have been very smooth. They've been on schedule, and their goal is to have that opened up by this spring. Should be able to do your furniture shopping here locally at another location. I know we have a couple of them already in town, but that facility
gives you a few more options.
That's
a big option, man. That's going to be a big store.
That's a huge store.
Yeah.
I want to say that one is 240,000 square feet.
Yeah.
The front side of it, which is the portion I say the front closest to I-10, is really their showroom portion of it. And when you look at the building, you can kind of see the showroom box that is there. It's a perfect square. And then everything that goes back towards the interior of the mall development area, that's all their warehousing, as well as they also have a repair shop that they have in there. So if you bring back...
That's right. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, you order something, they deliver it, they bring it to the house, and all of a sudden you realize it's broke, not working. They take it back and they do the repairs right there. They don't deal with, sending it out or just trashing it and starting over. So they actually fix it, and I believe they put it into their clearance area then from there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So anything else going on at the mall? Of course, it looks like they're moving quite along in that storage facility. And I got to tell you, man, that is a big building. That's a large facility.
Yeah, that's a big storage facility. It's a combination storage facility. There's going to be the RV storage in that area, as well as they are also going to have a number of different climate controlled spaces for just, renting out a standard storage facility where you need to store some boxes or store some of your goods for a period of time. That is moving along. I don't know what the target is for opening that one, but I would believe they're probably into maybe next summer to get that up and running, depending upon how they stage it or phase it out for finishing. But the HSL project was the other one we talked about last time.
Those apartments, yeah.
Last time we talked, they were getting close to opening up, but hadn't opened up any of the spaces. Now, I believe there are 3 buildings now that are open.
People are living there.
People are living there.
Oh, right on.
And they continue about every month to open another building. So that project is moving along very nicely. At the appropriate time, or anyone that you can go in there right now, but I've walked in there and gone through their front entrance, and it is
beautiful.
Beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
Yeah,
they've done a really nice job. HSL as a whole just does a great job.
Yeah, quality job, and it's a new product for them. You drive around the region and you can pretty much pick out what every HSL project is just by the look of it.
Right.
This one's different.
Yeah.
And they are very proud of it.
Totally different look and feel to it.
Yeah.
More contemporary, modern. Yep.
Yep. It's very nice.
Very cool. Nothing else going on at the mall there. We do have a hotel, but have we heard anything on that?
We've been in contact with them. They're still
Okay.
working through it. I believe where they're at right now is trying to get some pricing on, their design build for that.
Yeah.
They've been in contact with our staff and continue to work through it, but haven't submitted for a formal building permit on that one, but it's still moving forward is our understanding.
Yeah, people keep waiting for construction costs to come down, and they aren't really coming down, are they?
No, they're really not. And we know of a number of projects that have been bid multiple times just because they're trying every way possible to bring down those prices. But the longer you wait, the more it costs.
Yep, indeed. So I'm going to hop back up to Tangerine and I-10 because I forgot about something, and that is the great big buildings there along the frontage road with Flint Development and Southern Arizona Logistics. Now, those look like they're getting close to being done, and I'm curious who's going in there.
Yeah, the shell of the buildings are near completion. You see they've paved their parking lot, and they've done all the exterior work for the most part. They're just kind of finishing that up. We have not seen anything as far as tenants going in there. And the communications that we've had with Flint, reaching out to them, trying to figure out who's going in there, haven't really disclosed anything other than to say, yeah, we've got a couple of people that we're talking with, and some of them are interested in maybe taking the whole building. Some are a portion of one of the buildings, but we don't have any understanding of who's going in.
Even with all your charm and personality, you can't finesse that information out of them, Jason.
No, try every angle I can.
Yeah, they have sealed lips on this one. They haven't told us a thing, but that's all right. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough because they're getting real close to being completed. So let's move down a little bit and talk about the southern portion of our community. Cortero I-10, Ina I-10, not a whole lot. I mean, there's some apartments that look like they're real close to wrapping up and renting out. What can you tell us about that? We got the Album. We got the ones just to the south of there. Yeah.
So the Album one, that's the one over by Lehman. Things are moving along nicely there. They're starting to lease up in that space. I'm not sure.
And that's a 55 and older, right?
Yes, that's an age-restricted facility.
So that means neither you or Vic could get in there. But I, however, could get myself a nice little apartment in that location.
Yeah, you can get the corner unit and get your pick. Yeah, that's an age-restricted facility, 55 and older, and they're starting to lease up in that area. I'm not sure how much of the building is available for lease at this time, but I do know that they're starting to show and get leases signed there. Then you move south into the Silver Bell area, just north of the Amazon facility. There's a couple of buildings there that are already having tenants move in.
I didn't realize that.
Project is moving along very nicely there.
That's a big complex.
That is a big complex.
Yeah, very attractive too.
Yeah. 300 units ultimately when that one is built out.
Okay.
So they're moving along nicely there. And then when you go on the south side of Ina, right across from the Amazon facility, there is the apartment project there that is ultimately starting to come out of the ground there. Just last week, I pointed out to you, or I mentioned to you in passing, it was like, have you seen it?
Yeah.
I hadn't been down there in a while. I was down at our MOC for a meeting and just happened to go out that way. And
they're going vertical.
The buildings are going vertical there. So that'll be another apartment project in that location.
Lots of apartments. So you mentioned Amazon a couple of times, the buildings north of the Amazon, the buildings to the south of the Amazon. But what about the Amazon itself? It's been vacant now for quite a while since it's been completed. Yeah,
probably about due to reach back out to them with another update. Last I had talked to them was probably about a month ago, and asked, any change, any status updates, and our individuals that we've been given as contacts over there, I said, they're still hoping to get everything moving in time for the holidays this year and get that facility up and running. I'm starting to question that just from the sake of knowing how long it's going to take to do the tenant improvements, the interior improvements in order to get that online. And that they have this big conveyor belt system that they put in there. That's not something you can
Plus, you got to hire a lot of people.
Had to hire a lot of people. And so thinking of the holidays as by November 1, you want to have this thing up and running. You got about 2 months to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's a tight window.
I'm not a betting man, but if I were betting, I'd say the odds are not in their favor on that. But we'll see. So,
we'll see. I'll reach out to them and see if we can get a better update on where things are at.
Good deal. All right, and then we have, still some development, and as developed as Ina, Thornydale, Orange Grove, Thornydale is, there's some development in that area as well with some additional apartments, and it seems like they've been building on those for quite a while.
Yeah.
So tell me what's going on with that?
So you got the Alexander project, which is the one right behind Target. And that project has been moving along. They've had some snags. We've had communications with the developer in that area. It's everything from they had some material delays. They had some underground delays as far as utility work and things of that nature. They also had some contractor issues that they had to work through and resolve. And so in many ways, they've kind of hit every obstacle they possibly could, which I'm sorry to hear that with them.
Yeah, that's too bad, because I think that's going to be a neat project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're fighting through it, and they're constantly, keeping us updated on things, reaching out, asking for our help when we can. They're moving along, and they'll get there. It's just taking longer than what they had hoped for and what they really should be taking. But they're getting there. The Solstice Apartments is the ones just to the west of that. Some people might just say it's the extension of the Amavita Apartments in that area.
But a little bit different. They're not the same single-story detached units, right?
Correct. They are all, well, not all, but they are mostly the detached units still, but there's a lot of 2 stories in this
Two
one.
stories, okay.
And then they do have some attached products that are going in there as well. Those are moving along nicely. They continue to just keep going, assembly line build and get them going and popping up. I do not believe that any of those facilities have been leased out yet, but I think they are getting very close to probably in the next month or two having a number of units available for people to look at there.
Now, there is a development that is going like gangbusters, at least from my perspective anyways. It just seems like they are moving fast and furious. And that's the American Homes for Rent off of Linda Vista in Twin Peaks. And so I think this is the first of its kind for Marana, a complete community, a total community that is 100% rental homes from American Homes for Rent. So tell us about that project a little bit.
Yeah, the American Home for Rent project off of Linda Vista. The first phase of the overall Linda Vista development, Homes for Rent bought that entire Linda Vista development, which is about 400 units. Not saying that they're all going to be there as rental, but they do own it. So it could potentially turn into that. This first phase is about 75 lots that they've put in as far as see how it goes. They do have homes that are available for people to rent right now and can move into that area.
That's what I thought. I drove through there the other day, and I thought, man, these look 100% done, complete, ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're moving along. They, on average, are pulling about 15 permits a month from us.
Okay.
And they just keep moving. I don't know how long they'll be able to sustain that, because my understanding is they have kind of a smaller crew. I mean, they have a decent sized crew, but eventually each home gets to a point where you really can't go much further until you get everything lined up. So coordinating with the electrical and the plumbing and all of that for each one of these homes, you really can't go much further until that work is done. So, but they're moving along nicely, and our understanding is that project is really going to take off now, because they've finished up, as you've seen, a lot of the drainage infrastructure that goes around there, because there's some washes and that.
Serious earth moving around there that they had to do.
They're getting close to wrapping up the street improvement projects that they've had in that area.
That's going to be a nice addition too.
Yeah, so extending the width of the road in that area, and also dealing with some of the turning movements in that area, will really help, I think, Linda Vista as a whole.
Absolutely. So I think I covered just about everything that I could think of here, Jason. And I don't know if there's anything else that is on your mind that you think our community would want to know about, or residents would want to hear from you about. But I'm gonna toss the ball to you in case there's any last remaining projects that you'd like to cover.
No, I think we've pretty much covered them all for the most part here. Residential developments are moving along that are all visible. There isn't anything new that is being brought before us for any new residential subdivisions. The commercial is really where we're seeing a lot of the interest right now. And like I said, with the Fries finally moving forward and breaking ground, the interest in North Marana has extremely moved up, as far as people calling, requesting meetings, wanting to set up times, and developers having an interest of getting their properties ready for those commercial developments. So I'd say in the next year and a half in North Marana, there's going to be quite a change as far as the commercial activity.
Very good. Well, Jason, thank you again so much for joining us and helping our listeners understand kind of where things stand in our community relative to development. And congratulations again to you and the team for a wonderful season, once in a lifetime kind of ordeal for them and for you. And so certainly grateful that you guys got the opportunity to do that. And what an awesome thing. So to our listeners, we thank you again for joining us. We hope this is helpful to you. Until next time. Submit your questions visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk, and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, please follow the town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.